As long as we keep fighting, we haven't lost. This was Miche's mantra, what he said to reassure himself and others when things looked bleak, and his final words before he suffered the most brutal death in the series. Among the scouts, Miche was second only to Levi, and was considered the strongest human soldier. But what truly set Miche apart was his sense of smell, which allowed him to detect titans from long distances. However, an unfortunate encounter with the beast titan killed him early in the story. This raises the question, how would Miche's survival have impacted the events of Attack on Titan? I'm your host TheNenhunter, and I'll be answering those questions and more. Miche's death was a stroke of bad luck. After taking down several titans, Miche called for his horse, but by chance, Zeke was on the exact path the horse was returning from. Their paths crossed, Zeke grabbed the horse, and Miche's fate was sealed. Now the beast titan isn't fast. Had the horse taken a slightly different route, it would have avoided him entirely, and that's how Miche survives in this scenario. Miche jumps on his horse and races away. Zeke is interested in Miche's ODM gear, so he orders his titans to give chase, but Miche manages to slip away. From this encounter, Miche learns the beast titan is sentient and has the power to command titans. Miche then heads to Ragako village to regroup with Galgar. Once they link up, Miche takes command of the scouts. From there, events play out mostly the same, until Utgard Castle. Miche smells the beast titan and a horde of pure titans before they arrive. He immediately orders a full evacuation on horseback. As the scouts flee, Zeke commands his titans to sprint after them, but thanks to Miche's early warning, the scouts escape and reach Walrose. Miche has his squad wait out the night. By morning, they're found by Hanji and the other scouts, and it's here that the changes begin to compound. Because Reiner was never injured battling the titans, his mental state remains intact. He doesn't expose his identity, and the battle between him and Eren never happens. As a result, Eren is never captured, and the scouts don't have to venture into Titan territory to rescue him. So Hannes survives, Erwin does not lose his arm, and Eren never activates the founding Titan. At Utgard Castle, Ymir did not reveal her Titan power, so she's able to remain a scout and be by Historia's side, and because of that, Historia never abandons her Krista persona. Meanwhile, Zeke returns to Marley empty-handed. In the original timeline, the Mid-East Alliance invaded Marley after it lost the Colossal and female Titan, but here, Marley has also lost the Armored and Jaw Titan, making them even more vulnerable, and all of Marley's enemies take advantage by attacking at once. The end result of this is Marley's empire collapsing. Back on the island, the scouts add Miche's report on the Beast Titan to their investigations, and it helps Erwin reach a conclusion. The Beast Titan has the power to create titans from humans. Because Eren never reveals the power of the founding Titan, the Uprising arc never happens. Rod Race continues working from the shadows to capture the founder. This allows Eren to focus entirely on the Titan hardening experiments, while Erwin turns his attention to Reiner and Bertolt. At this point, they still don't know Annie was captured, but Erwin knows that won't last. Sooner or later, they'll try to check on her, so he acts first. Through Armin, Erwin passes them a message. The scouts suspect Annie is a Titan shifter, and they're planning an operation to capture her. As soon as they hear this, Reiner and Bertolt panic, fearing they're under suspicion as well, but they can't refuse to join. Backing out now would make them look even more suspicious. They think if they go along with the mission, they'll be able to warn Annie and help her escape. But that's exactly what Erwin wants them to think. Reiner and Bertolt agree to join the operation, and are led into an underground meeting room. The moment they step inside, they're surrounded, and quickly detained. Reiner and Bertolt are moved to separate cells and questioned individually. At this point in the story, Bertolt's will hasn't hardened, so he cracks under the pressure. He admits to being the Colossal Titan, and tearfully explains explains that he destroyed the wall because he was following orders, but that's all he reveals. Even now, he refuses to betray the other warriors. With nothing else to gain, the scouts imprison Reiner and Bertolt indefinitely. By this point in the story, the scouts have two remaining leads, Grisha's basement and Historia's ties to the royal family, so they pursue both simultaneously. Erwin announces a new expedition to Shiganshina to reach Grisha's basement. At the same time, Hanji and Levi begin pressing Historia for information on the truth. At first, Historia keeps up the Krista persona, pretending to know nothing about the church, but Levi does not buy it. Just like in the Uprising arc, he threatens her into cooperating. That's when she finally talks, revealing her connection to the Race family. The scouts decide they'll deal with Rod after the expedition. Before setting out, Erwin splits the main characters between Squad Miche and Levi. Squad Levi includes Aaron, Armin, Mikasa, and John, the group that fought together in Stohez. Squad Miche includes Emir, Historia, Sasha, Connie, Nanaba, and Gelgar, the team that defended Walrose. With the teams in place, the expedition begins, and it goes smoothly. The scouts race to Shiganshina and avoid Titans using the scouting formation. Once there, Aaron leads them to the basement. They find Grisha's journals and immediately return to trust. For Erwin, it's a moment of personal triumph. He's finally proven his father's theory correct. But for Aaron, it's the opposite. He never heard his mother's words about being special just for being born, so his self-worth is still tied to the founding Titan, and that takes a hit after learning it was given to him by Grisha. Combine that with the bleak state of the outside world, and Aaron begins to spiral into depression. Aaron isn't the only one shaken by the truth. To the other scouts, one thing becomes clear. The real threat wasn't the Titans, but the royal government. They knew the truth and hid it to protect their power, so the scouts begin planning to overthrow them. And since the Interior Police isn't watching them in this storyline, they can prepare everything in secret. The scouts begin ambushing and capturing Interior Police soldiers, both to avenge Nick's death and to extract intel. Once the scouts confirm that Rod Race is the true king, Erwin brings the information and Grisha's journals to Pixis and Zachary, and they both immediately agree to support the coup. In the original story, Pixis was hesitant as he couldn't rule out the possibility that the nobility had a valid reason for hiding the truth. But here, after reading Grisha's journals, Pixis is fully convinced the royal government is their enemy. In preparation for the coup, Zachary uses his authority as head of the military to reposition garrison units loyal to Pixis near the royal capital. Meanwhile, Squad Levi and Miche track down Rod to his estate in the Orvard district, and then the coup begins. Garrison forces, led by Pixis and Zachary, storm the royal palace, detaining the Interior Police and assembly members, and placing Historia on the throne. At the same time, Squads Levi and Miche successfully capture Rod, and also seize his bag of Titan serum. After the coup, the public remains skeptical of Historia, since she never fights in a battle as queen in this timeline, but they don't immediately revolt. This buys the scouts just enough time to launch an expedition to retake Shiganshina and win public support that way. Before the expedition begins, the scouts decide to use Rod's Titan serum to steal the power of Titans from the warriors. Erwin selects Miche and Hanji to receive the armored and colossal Titans, as he values their experience and trusts them a lot. Miche's ability to detect Titans combined with the armored Titan's powers makes him perfect for leading the front lines during expeditions, and Hanji's dedication to learning about Titans makes her perfect for mastering its powers. After the Titan transferal ritual, the scouts begin stockpiling thunder spears and gathering building materials. That's because Aaron never drank the hardening serum in this timeline, so they'll need to manually rebuild Shiganshina's gate after clearing the area of Titans. To that end, Erwin modifies the scouting formation. Instead of avoiding Titans, the goal now is is to eliminate them. In the revised strategy, Miche leads the vanguard, using his sense of smell to locate nearby titans. Once found, Hanji would use the female titan scream to lure the horde to her position, where the scouts, armed with thunder spears, would eliminate them. The plan is to thin the number of titans before advancing to Shiganshina, and over the next few weeks, Erwin has the scouts training to master the new formation. While the scouts prepare for Shiganshina, Ymir leaves the scouts and joins the military police in order to remain by Historia's side. For her, protecting Historia is more important than retaking Shiganshina. Soon after, the scouts successfully clear wall rows of titans and seal the gate at Shiganshina. When they return, the island celebrates their victory. During the award ceremony, Eren kisses Historia's hand, just like in the original timeline. But this time nothing happens. Eren was supposed to see future events tailored to guide him towards this ending. But in this scenario, with the Marley collapsing, events like the declaration of war and Sasha's death can't happen. So even if Eren sees something, it would be from a future that no longer exists. By this point, the series is over. The scouts have full control over the island, and their greatest enemy, Marley, is collapsing. On top of that, Zeke has no way to advance the euthanasia plan. He doesn't know the scouts have cleared the island of titans, or that his half-brother is the founding titan. He can't travel to the island himself as he's fighting in Marley's wars, and he can't rely on the anti-Marleyan volunteers either. Their reason for following Zeke was to free their people from Marley, and with Marley now losing its wars, their goal is already being realized. So aside from Yelena, no one sees a reason to continue following him. At the same time, Eren never encountered the Smiling Titan in this timeline, meaning he never learned how to bypass the King's Vow. So even if Zeke somehow got in contact with the island, Eren wouldn't vouch for him, and as a result, the scouts would reject his proposal. So to summarize, a storyline where Miche survives results in an easy victory for the scouts. The turning point comes at Utgard Castle, where Miche's early warning saves the scouts, and prevents Reiner and Ymir from revealing their titan powers. This set off a chain reaction that resulted in the warriors being captured, Marley collapsing, and the scouts taking control of the island without a single main character dying. But what do you guys think? How does the story unfold if Miche survives? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.